Hey guys, this is Mr. Grice for Algebra 2 Unit 6.3 Notes. Today we're going to be talking about multiplication and division properties of same bases. Our learning target today is to be able to simplify each expression by applying the multiplication and division properties of powers with the same bases. So let's go over some basic stuff first. The coefficient, okay? The coefficient, what that is a number multiplied by a variable. So a number that is multiplied by a variable. So you can see the coefficient in our example up here is 2. Now the base, what the base is any number that has a variable. Sorry, not a variable. Any number or variable that has an exponent. So who the exponent belongs to is the x. And then the exponent, the last thing that we're going to be talking about is the 3. What that does, the exponent, it tells us how many times to multiply the base by itself. Okay, so my exponent is 3, but what that's saying is me that there's 1, 2, 3. There are 3 x's in that statement. Okay? So we're going to be going through 2 rules today. We're going to be talking about the product property of same bases and the division property of same bases. Now the product property says if the same bases is being multiplied, you must add the exponents, and then the coefficients are multiplied as normal. Okay, so what it's telling me, if I have the same base, okay, they're both x's, what I do is I add those numbers together. So it's 2 plus 5, and that is 7. Okay, because it's saying that I have x times x, and then x times x times x times x times x. I don't want to be doing this all the time, but all together we have 7 x's. So it's x to the 7th. Okay, so the coefficients are multiplied like normal. So negative 2 times 8 is negative 16. And then I need to find the same bases. Okay, so the n's, n3 plus n1, and then m1 and m1. So we go in alphabetical order. I have 1 plus 1, 2. So we have 2 m's, and then we have 4 n's. Okay, forgot to highlight that guy so we know that this is my final answer. Okay, so number 3. We multiply the coefficients. Remember, if you need to, use your calculator. 2/3 in parentheses times 18, which gives you 12. And then alphabetical order, I'm going to do the A's first. I add them. 5 plus 2 is 7. And then the B's. 1 plus 11, we get 12. Okay? And then even when we're doing the fractions, it's the same rule. We add the bases. So if I have 1/4 plus 1/4, 0.5, and if you don't know how to change that to a fraction, it's just math, enter, enter, and we get 1/2. Okay? All right. on the other side. If the same basis, okay, once again, the same basis is being divided, then we have to subtract big minus small. And then the coefficients are divided as normal. Okay, so for the first one, example number 5, I don't have any coefficients, so I don't have to worry about that. I'm going to write this out the long way first so you can kind of see it. I have two x's and then 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And then I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and a 1. And I don't want to be doing this every time. But alphabetical order, I'm looking at the m's first. I'm saying we subtract. So those cancel, those cancel, those cancel, those cancel, and those cancel. So on the bottom, I have m squared, okay? And so the way we're saying that is, hey, who's bigger? The bottom. And the bottom's bigger by how much? By 2. So that's why it's m squared. The x's, who's bigger? The top. I subtract them and I should have 1x. And if you look at it, there is 1x there. This should be a review of your freshman year. Okay? Now, for number 6, I like to deal with the coefficients first. So if you don't know that in your head, you just divide it out. Negative 12 divided by 48, I get a fraction. I do math enter enter to get negative 1/4, so negative 1/4. Alphabetical a, so I got a cubed, nothing happens with that. B to the 4th, that's the same, okay, nothing's going on there. And then my c's, who wins, the top or the bottom? Yeah, the bottom, and the bottom wins by 1. So then we have c to the 1st on there. Okay, I'm looking at my coefficients first. 50 divided by 15. Math enter enter to get the fraction of 10/3. 10 on the top, 3 on the bottom. Looking at my x's, the top wins because we have 20 minus 13 and that is 7. So the top wins by 7, x to the 7th. My y's, let's find all my y's. I got 1, 2, the bottom wins. Okay, the bottom wins. 19 minus 4 is 15. So we have y to the 15th. And then my z's cancel out. Okay, and then number 8. It's the same thing. I subtract. I'm like, Mr. Grice, I don't know what those two fractions are. Well, 3 divided by 2 and 5 divided by 2, it tells you right there. So you could say right off to the side, okay, well, this is 1.5, this is 2.5. Well, 2.5 is bigger. So what's 2.5 minus 1.5? Well, that's 1. So on the bottom wins. The bottom wins by 1. And when everything cancels out on the top, you put a 1 up there. So we have 1 over x. Okay? All right. So now what we have down here, it says to simplify each expression, and then answers must contain only positive exponents. Okay. So coefficients first. What is negative 3/4 times 24? And that gives us negative 18. Now, alphabetical. I'm multiplying, so I add the exponent. 6 plus 7 is 13. And then I have n to the 4th. And remember, if it's just an n there, that means there's 1. So that's n to the 5th. That was multiplication, and now we have division. So I always look at the coefficients first. Negative 18 divided by 40. Math, enter, enter. And we get negative 9 over 20. I like to look alphabetically first, so I'm looking at the x's, and the top wins. The top wins by 3. So I have x cubed on top. Looking at my y's, the bottom wins by 1. So I have y to the first, and then w squared and w squared, those cancel out. So this is my final answer. Okay, all we're doing is just being organized. Okay. Don't get too scared. Okay? The first thing we have to do is the division. 26 divided by 13. That's 2. Okay? And now who's bigger? 2/5, which is 0.4, or 12 divided by 5? 12 divided by 5 is 2.4. Well, that's easy. 2.4 is bigger. So you can either do 2.4 minus 0.4, which gives you 2, or 12 over 5 minus 2 over 5, which is 10 over 5, and 10 divided by 5 is 2. Either way, the bottom wins, and the bottom wins by 2. So just make sure you're putting that x in the correct spot. Okay? Don't get too scared with the fractions. Negative 3 times negative 15, and negative times a negative is a positive. 3 times 15 is 45. And then I need to add the exponents. 3 over 8 plus 1 over 8. 3 plus 8 is, or 3 plus 1 is 4. And you get 1/2. Okay, so you can do it the long way, or you can do it using your calculator. And let me show you during your calculator. You take 3/8 plus 1/8, and it tells you the fraction, or the decimal, and you just switch it to a fraction. Okay? It's not too bad. Yes, oh, it's fractions, it's scary. Yeah, it's not that bad. Okay? So you have negative 1/2 times 5 times 10 times negative 8. Okay? Just keep track of everything. Negative 1/2 times 5 times 10 times negative 8, right? And you get 200. You know, if you want to try it in your head, you can. 5 times 10 is 50. 50 times 1/2 is 25. 25 times 8. Negative times a negative, you know it's a positive. Okay, so we have 200. And now I want you to make sure you're combining the like bases. Okay, so you have 1/15 plus 4/15. You can add them, and then reduce them. Okay, so that gives us a to the 1/3, and then b to the 3/7 and b to the 5/7. 3/7 plus 5/7. 3 plus 5 is 8. Okay, and if you're not good with your fractions, just use your calculator. You can do all of that in there. Okay, I'll show you with the one of them. We had, what was it, 1/15, sorry. 1/15 plus 4/15. Math, enter, enter, and you get the right answer. Okay, just remember to make sure it's with the same bases. Okay, so you need to find which ones are the same and which ones are bigger. Okay, so 1/9 or 4/9. 4/9 wins. 11/2 or 5/2. 11/2 wins. Okay, so why don't you guys pause the video and see if you can solve that last part all on your own. Good luck. Okay, and you get m cubed divided by n to the 1/3. Now, if you have any questions or you need extra help, please come see Ms. Carranza or myself. We would love to help you out. Otherwise, this is Mr. Grice signing off. Your homework is 6.3. Practice. A little bit of a review. Okay? This is Mr. Grice signing off for Algebra 2, Unit 6.3 Notes. Thanks for watching.